Hi everyone, my name is Ian Manley and I work in the waste service as part of the commercial and strategy team. I'm a part of a team of 7 people who look after a variety of different services, contributing around about £15 million to the overall council expenditure in any one year. So we look after household waste recycling centres, waste transfer stations, closed landfills, what happens to all of the material that gets collected from our bins, and also we develop infrastructure such as the Broom Hills facility, which you'll see me at in a moment. And then I'll pass over to a few other colleagues to talk about other elements of the service, how we responded to the lockdown, particularly with the household recycling centres.
We're now in the transfer building at Broom Hills, and I'm stood in the bay where the recycling from your green lidded bin comes from. Now here it's bulked up and loaded into much bigger trailers, and then it's taken up to North Wales to be sorted. Now this product, it's really important that everyone who recycles in Dorset is conscious of quality, because quality is the main thing that drives the economics of this product. It goes up to North Wales and is sorted out into the various commodities. Some of it goes directly into the paper mill and comes back as newsprint. The plastic bottles are sorted out and then go back into plastic bottle recycling. We are currently paying in the region of around £35 to £40 a tonne for this material. This is our garden waste pile, and this garden waste comes from your curbside bins and from our household recycling centres. Here it's bulked up again into big trailers and taken across near to Bournemouth Airport, where it's composted to create a new soil improver. A fantastic local company involved in managing our garden waste, and this costs us in the region of about 20 to maybe £35 a tonne. So here's the bay for the glass. We collect this on a fortnightly basis, also at our recycling centres, and we saw this surge in the early part of lockdown as people found time to perhaps drink a little bit more. This material again bulked up, bigger trailers, and goes to one of 2 facilities around the UK for remelt into new bottles. And after we've paid to actually haul it to these places, this material returns a bit of a rebate to the council. So we're talking between £1 and £5 a tonne that we actually make from the glass that we collect. Okay, this is one of the biggest bays in this building. It's our black bag waste, and probably the most expensive waste that we actually manage as a council. This costs us in the region of about £110 a tonne for every tonne that we produce. Again, bulked out of this facility and taken to a company called New Earth Solutions, who are located near Camford. They try and extract a bit more recycling from this. They compost some of it, and then they bale it and send the majority of it off for energy from waste in combined heat and power stations. But as you can see, we've got a big pile of it here. It costs us a lot of money, and what we all should be really doing is thinking about ways that we can actually reduce this. We're here at Bridport, and we're in the second lockdown phase, which was quite different to our first phase of lockdown, where the recycling centres closed for 6 weeks. My colleague Anna and colleagues at the Swanage Recycling Centre will now say a bit more about what happened back then.
This site first reopened, we had help from volunteers from various places like the schools, hotels and the local libraries, which we found very helpful indeed. They helped with the traffic, they helped with questions, and to be honest with you, we wouldn't have got through that first 2 weeks without them.
Here's our lovely site, lots of spaces, so people can keep nice and separate in all of our bays. And we have some lovely signs asking people to be very patient, which most people have been.
One of the things that we have done more of during COVID is make use of our technology, and in particular the CCTV that we have available at all of our recycling centres. This has allowed us to conduct a lot of our contract compliance monitoring remotely, and also be able to discuss as a team some of the safety measures that we have introduced, and actually be able to look at it real time and see how people behave and how the sites are actually operating with the new interventions that we've put in place.
So as well as our recycling centres, which a lot of the public use and see, I mentioned that we look after closed landfills. So I'll pass over to Jason now for some footage that he took at one of our closed landfills a few weeks ago.
This is Buckham Down picnic area, which is also a closed landfill site near Bedminster. I must say it's probably got one of the best views of any closed landfill site I've ever seen. At the beginning of the easing of the lockdown, we were trying to meet up to do site visits. It's very good to get out to discuss issues and get some fresh air. We're constantly having to review how we do our visits in light of increasing numbers of infections. So therefore, unfortunately, today I'm by myself.